How's it going, everybody? I'm the best is, the best it was, the best ever will be. There have been none before me, and there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jake Kobe, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed week this week with your news of the week, followed by a Raw and SmackDown review, and then we'll go into a review of 2023 Full Gear, followed by my predictions for Survivor Series War Game. Excuse me. We need to get the real guy in here. Mr. Regal, the mic is yours, sir.
In War Games!
Thank you, sir. And then we will go into a very special segment that I have prepared. I'm actually going to do my Rushmore of Wrestling finally. I'm going to finally reveal that. We'll have your drink of the week followed by a reading from the Book of Rules and then the Battle Droid of the week. But let's get into the news this week. Has hazing left WWE locker rooms? Apparently not, as Mandy Rose has accused several divas of hazing her when she got to WWE, including Paige, asking if she even knew how to wrestle. And people saying, like, who's this bitch, and all that shit, and rolling their eyes. Apparently that's what she's saying, not me. There was a shade of jealousy, and that's what she truly believes. So, you know, I understand being the new person, you're not going to get treated right on the first day, but come on. This isn't too bad. There's way worse shit in the world than this. And who does Gunther want to face next for his IC title? Apparently, Gunther has said his final boss in wrestling is Brock Lesnar. I would love to see that match. Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. You tell me how great that match is. And apparently there is one person The Undertaker always wanted to face but never could, as he wanted to face a WWE Hall of Famer, the one, the only, first WWE Hall of Famer, Andre the Giant. Why does that match sound so damn cool? It would have been weird because there's no way Undertaker could have gotten him up for a tombstone or a choke slam. Maybe a choke slam. But damn, would that have been cool. Undertaker versus Andre. That's a fun one. But that does it for the news this week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into SmackDown. As SmackDown kicked off with, let me see, with Carlito saying the fans want to see him as United States champion. Oh wait, that's last week's. What the fuck? That's last week's one. Why are those there? That's not my results. What the fuck is going on? Oh, here we go. SmackDown kicked off with Damage Control in the middle of the ring, with Bayley saying this is the new and improved Damage Control. Asuka said something in Japanese, which led Io Sky and Kairi Sane to laugh. Bayley asked what's going on, and Dakota Kai said one of them isn't a member of Damage Control. And Dakota basically said Asuka hasn't officially been made a member yet. Asuka was then officially made a member by giving her the Damage Control shirt. After this, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and one more partner challenged Damage Control to War Games. It was official, and it was made official. War Games is now happening with the women. Hang on.
In War Games!
Thank you. Again, I told you guys you were going to hear a lot in this week. Nick Aldis then told the women that they needed to get a fourth member for their team by the end of tonight. I wonder who that could be. The Street Profits then came out and had a good match with the Brawling Brutes and became the number one contenders for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. I wouldn't mind seeing them as champions. It would be kind of cool to see Pretty Deadly Street Profits as champions. but I feel like it's not going to happen until Bobby Lashley has a shot at some singles gold. We then get Dragon Lee versus Axiom. Apparently, the talk is that Dragon Lee is going to be the one to face Santos Escobar at WrestleMania, with Rey Mysterio giving him his blessing, as Rey Mysterio will probably go on to feud with Dominic again in a hair versus mask match, which is being discussed. I wouldn't mind this, but it would still be definitely weird. We then get Santos Escobar coming out with Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. And Escobar asked if they would stand by his side with Zelina. If they would side with Zelina or stay with him, because Zelina then came out and slapped him. Escobar told them to get out and he doesn't need them, as they chose Zelina. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be cool to see Santos Escobar going on this very cool singles run. I don't think he needs Legado del Fantasma. I would love to see him just go on his own run and be his own guy. We then get Grayson Waller versus Cameron Grimes in a nice match. Grayson Waller would pick up the win. I wish they would do more for Cameron Grimes, but it's clear they won't. We then get a backstage segment and Bianca Belair telling Charlotte Flair to make the call to their hopeful Survivor Series team member. We then get LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. A fun match. LA Knight was able to pick up the win with the blunt force trauma. I thought that was nice. Solo and Jimmy would then attack LA Knight, which allowed Cody Rhodes to come out and make the save. Cody apologized to Nick Aldis in a backstage interview for interfering. It was then made official as Damage Control would try to attack the faces. Becky Lynch would come out and reveal herself as the fourth member of Charlotte Flair's War Games team, sharing a nod and a smile. I don't know what this means for them if they're friends again. I don't know, but it was still very cool to see. Let's move on to Go Home Raw, though, as Raw kicked off with Drew McIntyre near to the Steel. In his new face mode, his new heel mode, the crowd booed him and he said, "He isn't Dominic Mysterio. I have the right for you to listen to me." He was then asked if he joined Judgment Day and he said, "Of course I haven't. They've just given me what I've wanted, so I'm going to help them." It was then announced it would be a 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, as the faces needed to get their fifth member by the end of tonight, and at 9 p.m. they would need to announce who would be facing each other in a advantage match for War Games. After this, we get Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez. God damn it, shoot me. I hated this match. It was terrible. Nia Jax, her finisher doesn't even look good. It literally looks like she just jumps from top rope, middle rope, sits down, and that's it. That's her finisher. It's terrible. I know what my battle during the week is, no question. But damn it, was that stupid. We then get Becky Lynch versus Xia Li. In a really cool match, Becky Lynch would pick up the win in a hard-fought, hard-kicking match. For those of you who don't know, Xia Li's big thing is that her kicks can knock women out. It was awesome to see Becky Lynch really fight hard. You know, if they want to do something with Xia Li, this is where a secondary title should come into WWE. You could have an 8-woman ladder match between Raw and SmackDown's women's division at WrestleMania to declare the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion, or a 4-on-4 ladder match, 2 ladder matches, maybe a 4-on-4 table elimination match to show a little difference, and you have the Women's United States Championship and a Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I would put it on Xia Li for one, and on the SmackDown side, maybe put it on Katana Chance. That would be a fun one. Anyway, Damage Control would come out, and so did Becky's War Games team. This led to a brawl. being broken up by security. We then get Johnny Gargano versus Ludwig Kaiser. An okay match. Johnny Gargano deserves so much better than the booking they've given him. Man, I just want Johnny Gargano to show that, yeah, he's still awesome. He's still a hard-fought wrestler. Because the guy's a technical machine. He's unbelievable and has the charisma that a lot of people love. So I want them to truly give him something better than what they're giving him, which is just, it's either he wins because something stupid happens, or he loses because something stupid happens. There's no in between of him just, hey, here's a great match. Let's just have something really cool. We then get The Miz and Gunther in a promo match from hell. It was awesome. You would have Gunther call The Miz just a regular entertainer. He would call him Mike, wouldn't even call him Miz. And he would basically say at Survivor Series, I prove why I'm better than you. I prove that I'm the real wrestler here. And The Miz said, yeah, I grew up a fan. And Gunther would say, you belong nowhere else besides behind the barricade. Which, I'm pretty sure that's an MJF line. That's what he said about Tony Khan. So I thought that was funny. I think the Miz then went off and said, yeah, I'm a fan, but that's what makes me so good. Is I grew up watching this and I wanted to be this. There was nothing else I wanted to be besides a wrestler. Gunther then attacked the Miz and would try to basically beat down the Miz, but Miz low blowed Gunther and would actually hit a skull crushing finale, standing tall. I thought that was a cool one. We think it's Shinsuke Nakamura versus Chad Gable in a hard-fought match. It was a good match. I hated the ending. Chad Gable would lose by roll-up. I thought Chad Gable was cool. It's cool Chad Gable's being protected, but if you're building Shinsuke as your new heel, this unbelievable fighter, it shouldn't be at his behest it should be at his own downfall that he wins a match. He should have hit the King Shotza for the win. It should have taken a couple, but the King Shotza should have picked up the win. For some reason I don't feel like I'm saying that right, but fuck it. We think at your main event, Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso for the War Games advantage. Drew would actually... the weird endings continue for Raw this week. This was a weird ending Raw. You would actually have Drew McIntyre hit... what was it called? His old DDT, his old finisher. Not a Claymore. He would actually hit his old DDT finisher, which the name escapes me right now. It wasn't like Shattered Dreams. It was something like that, and I just thought that was idiotic. McIntyre then kept attacking Jey after the match, so Judgment Day have the advantage going into War Games. I will explain the rules after I get done reviewing this. And you would have Seth, Cody, Sammy, everyone come out, and Cody said, I've reached our 5th member, and I'm ready to announce it's someone who I have a legacy with, who is an apex predator and has voices in his head. It's Randy Orton! Randy Orton is coming back for Survivor Series. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was a great way to reveal it. I wanted to see Randy, but besides that, Cody Rhodes announcing that was awesome. For those of you who don't know, Cody Rhodes was in a group called Legacy with Randy Orton, along with another guy named Ted DiBiase Jr., who was the son of the legend, the $1 Million Man. They would then split and have a triple threat match at WrestleMania. It was an awesome match, and it was an awesome, really cool faction. So it's cool to see Randy Orton teaming with Cody Rhodes again. I'm excited for that. It looks like it's going to be a fun War Game, so I'm going to explain this. For those of you who don't know what War Games actually is, War Games is a match type invented by the late great Dusty Rhodes in WCW. 2 rings, 1 steel cage surround the 2 rings. 2 men start off in the ring. I believe it's 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half, someone will enter the ring from each team. Every minute, one person comes in. Another minute, the next person comes in from the other team. And so forth, so on and so forth until every member is in the cage. And then the match officially starts. You're allowed to do as much damage. It is no DQ. You are allowed to bring in any weapons, no disqualifications. Anything can happen inside that cage. You are not allowed to leave the cage. If once everyone comes in and you leave the cage, your team forfeits, you lose the match. So, it can only be won by pinfall or submission. There is no time limit. Anything goes. Fight and win. The team with the advantage certainly has. The team who has the person going first definitely has an advantage, because then it's 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3, 5-on-4 until the final person comes in. That is War Games, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fun match type. And there was a reason it was not used for so long, because it was supposed to be one of the most dangerous match types ever. It is a fun one, though. Whew. Anyway, that's War Games. Let's move on to Full Gear. As Full Gear kicked off with Eddie Kingston versus Jay White for the ROH World Championship. Jay Lethal. Eddie Kingston showing off why he is one of the best in wrestling business. Eddie Kingston picking up the win over Jay Lethal in 10 minutes. We then get Claudio Castagnoli versus Buddy Matthews in a singles match that was okay. It was a 10-minute match. I truly felt that this match belonged on the main card. This is why I have a problem with AEW signing everyone under the sun. You are promising these wrestlers way better than what they're getting in WWE, yet they're not even allowed on the main card. If you're going to make a promise to someone, keep it. That's just my opinion. We then get your final match of the pre-show, MJF and Samoa Joe defending their Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. It's actually Adam Cole's champion, but Samoa Joe is stepping in while Adam Cole is injured, versus the Guns of Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn. MJF and Samoa Joe were able to retain. For some reason, I really like this team. I think it's fun, and I think it could really work way better than what it is. We then get Sting and Darby Allin and Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, with Ric Flair at ringside, versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne, in what is Sting's last match ever. This is supposed to be Sting's retirement match. And you know what? If it is Stinger, he went out in style. They were able to pick up the win. Christian Cage versus Edge was awesome. I actually really like this. I think this is one of the best pay-per-views AEW has put on, in my opinion. I thought it was definitely told a great story in the ring. I thought the build-up was good. They actually focused more on the storylines and actually told the story of why these guys are fighting more than, hey, they're fighting, let's just watch them fight. And Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam coming out with the win, that's awesome. We then get your second match of the night and your main event card, which is Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. Awesome match. Really enjoyed this. The only problem was Jon Moxley being busted open. Jon didn't need to be busted open. I thought that was a little stupid, but that's just my opinion. I thought Jon Moxley he shouldn't have bladed. because we'll get to the worst match in the card, in my opinion, later on. But Orange Cassidy would retain in a hard-fought match. Besides Moxley blading, I thought it was a very cool match. We then get Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm in a singles match for AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida defending her title against Toni Storm. It was a good match, and actually Toni Storm would end up winning the match. She would show up, and I actually really do like this Timeless gimmick. I think it's definitely different. I think it's fun. I don't really think it's something that's ever been done before. So I actually really enjoy the Timeless Toni Storm, where she basically thinks she's Marilyn Monroe. Toni Storm would pick up the win. Very cool to see. Toni Storm is your new AEW Women's Champion. We then get a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It would be the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King, versus FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, versus Los, I can never say this right, Fascione. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. Los Fascione Incredibile. Yeah, I knew I was going to butcher that. And Ricky Starks and Big Bill, former Big Cass in WWE, defending their titles in a ladder match. This was fun. It was a great 20-minute ladder match. It really goes, it's a really cool reference to the ladder match at WrestleMania 33, where Big Cass would actually lose the Raw Tag Team Championships to the Hardys. It was cool to see Big Bill and Ricky Starks win this match and continue to be the AEW World Tag Team Champions. The only thing I wish more was that Enzo was there with them. But I feel like he was there in spirit. And I feel like Ricky Starks is actually a very good mouthpiece for Big Cass. Because one thing Big Cass definitely doesn't have on his side is he is not a good talker. But anyway, Big Bill and Ricky Starks would pick up the win and would retain their titles. We then get Chris Statlander and Sky Blue and Julia Hart in a three-way match for AEW TBS Championship. Chris Statlander, the title holder, and would actually be won surprisingly by Julia Hart. She is 39-1, now 40-1 in AEW. I was shocked by this. I didn't think they would take the title off of Statlander so soon. I thought they would let her have a little bit more of a run with the title. But that's just my opinion. I think Statlander should have won this match. It was cool to see Julia Hart get the title and basically pick up a win for the House of Black on that pay-per-view. But still at the same time, very cool match. Enjoyed it. This match. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. Now, a lot of people are praising this match. They think it's awesome. I don't. I hated this match. You know, it's cool to show a little blood and go a little extreme. I get that. That's fun. But this was just destroying your bodies. If it was not a good idea to do this match. People were getting stapled in their faces. I hated this match. I like the extreme. I think it's fun. But at the same time, it shouldn't have happened. Strickland would pick up the win in a hard-fought match. By the way, Strickland will also pay homage to Bray Wyatt with his tights in this match. Thought that was cool. We then get the tag team match of the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks. If the Young Bucks had won, they would have stayed number one contenders for the tag team championships. If not, the Golden Jets would be the tag team champions. And if the Golden Jets lost, they would have had to disband. Of course, the Golden Jets won and beat the Young Bucks in a hard-fought respect match. The Young Bucks did tease a heel turn after this. I don't know if it's going to happen, but apparently that's what they're planning. But since this, Nick and Matt have decided to take a leave of absence from wrestling. I don't know what's going on. respect their privacy. Good luck to them. We then go to your main event. So MJF was attacked before the show after defending his title by the Devil. We still don't know who the Devil is. MJF would be sent to the hospital, and it would lead to Adam Cole, baby, saying he would defend the title on one leg against Jay White. Of course, right before the match started, MJF came back in, and Jay White had to face MJF. Thought that was cool. Thought it was fun. This match was actually very good. It was kind of a heel versus heel dynamic with one guy being the obvious face, an MJF. I really like MJF. I think he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now. I got no problem saying that. I think MJF would be great in any company as any champion. So I hope wherever he signs in 2024, if he hasn't signed a long-term deal with AEW, he signs, he will be awesome. MJF would pick up the win after a roll-up and a hard-hit match. MJF would retain his title. We still don't know who the Devil is. That was the only thing that pissed me off about this show. But besides that, in Texas Deathmatch, I thought it was a very good show. Thought it was a very fun show to watch. And it's definitely made me more of a fan of AEW, and I'm going to try and catch more of their shows from now on. I just hope that they can live up to what they've built here. Again, my opinion. Let's move on to Survivor Series. My predictions for this show. You have Gunther versus The Miz for the IC title. I see Gunther retaining his title. I don't see them taking off of him anytime soon. It's going to be a hard-fought match, though, and I think The Miz is definitely going to build some face momentum in this. Since he's only turned face really 3 times in his career, I am excited for this. We then get Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks for the Women's World Championship. Look for Ripley to retain. They're not taking it off of her until way past WrestleMania, where she will face Becky Lynch probably at WrestleMania. That's a talk. Yeah, look for Rhea Ripley to retain here. In Carlito versus Santos Escobar, look for Santos to pick up the win, but for it to be through dastardly means for this feud can continue. In your Women's War Games match, look for the faces to pick up the win and for Asuka or Kairi Sane to be pinned. Now, the reason I say a lot of people are giving me heat online when I tweeted that out. The reason I say Kairi Sane is I truly believe if I were to do this storyline that I would keep Bayley heel and have Kairi or Asuka be pinned and have them I would do a heel versus heel dynamic and have Bayley be like, I built this whole team. I built Damage Control, and these 2 people who just came in are ruining everything I built. And have her try to turn Damage Control back to her own. They kick her out, and she goes and wins the Royal Rumble, or Dakota Kai will win it, and then it will be a 3-way match at WrestleMania. That is my opinion on what they should do with the Women's War Games match. So look for the faces to pick up the win. We then get Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton versus the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre. Again, I see the faces winning this match. It's just supposed to be a great moment for them, a returning Randy Orton. Maybe have Randy Orton turn heel and RKO. Yeah, maybe RKO Jay or Cody start a feud for going into WrestleMania, even though Cody's going to go for a world title. So that way it gives Cody something to do in the build-up to WrestleMania before going to face Roman Reigns. Whew. I could use a drink. And you know what? Because I'm doing something special today. Because it's my birthday. Actually, it's my birthday in about 3 hours, but still. I just want a nice, cool glass of whiskey. So I'm going to pour myself some Screwball whiskey and have a nice drink. Here we go. Screwball is a great peanut butter whiskey. For those of you who don't know, go pick it up. It's very good with a lot of things. I actually like to mix it with a banana cream liqueur and make what I call an Elvis. Great drink, fun, a fun drink to have for anyone. Please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink if you are under 21 in the United States, and do not overconsume on alcohol. Please drink responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now going to go into my Mount Rushmore and why I view these guys belong on it, in my opinion. So, fourth coming in on Mount Rushmore, Ric Flair's got to be up there. Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. I truly view him as someone who changed the game. As a heel, he was awesome. As a face, you love to cheer him. And if it wasn't for the last match shit that he went through just this year in TNA, I would have put him higher. Next is actually Randy Orton. Sticking with Evolution, I truly believe Randy Orton is one of the greatest to ever do it. A lot of people will say John Cena, but I truly believe Randy Orton is amazing. Randy Orton has the in-ring ability that a lot of people wish they could have. 14 title reigns, and a lot of people will say, oh, Cena's way better because he has 16. But Randy Orton has never, to me, he's better because I truly believe Randy Orton eats, sleeps, lives this business more than John Cena. And that's not to say that John Cena doesn't love everything about this business, but I truly believe Randy Orton is everything this business carries itself to be. Number 2, again, sticking with Evolution, I gotta go Triple H. And a lot of people wonder, why the fuck are you putting Triple H on here? Triple H goes on there for me because he isn't just about the past. He isn't about the present. He's trying to create the future, and he did that with NXT. He has built something that will outlast him way longer than anyone else ever thought. He built something that changed wrestling and allowed actually another promotion itself to form in AEW. So Triple H goes up there for not just what he's done in the ring, but for everything he's done outside the ring. And finally, number 1, in my opinion, the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots, it's The Undertaker. The Undertaker is, in my opinion, the greatest. I know people are going to get mad I didn't put The Rock or Stone Cold, but this is why I view this Mount Rushmore. 1, the titles these guys have. 2, what they've done in the ring and out of the ring for the business itself. And The Undertaker, to me, I just said it best. The Undertaker is the standard. He is what people should aspire to be. Undertaker is the greatest of all time, in my opinion. 21-0 at WrestleMania. 7 world titles. Has done it all in WWE. And still, whenever he even said, I'm retired. But if they ever needed me, break glass, here comes The Undertaker. I truly believe he'll never stop wrestling. I don't believe he'll ever be done. And the fact that he's willing to give his body that much, I know I kind of am contradicting myself with Ric Flair, but The Undertaker can always still go. And until he proves he can't, then maybe he'll fall down this Mount Rushmore a bit, but in my eyes, he is the greatest to ever do it. And that's why I love The Undertaker, and he is number 1 on my Mount Rushmore. So my Mount Rushmore, Undertaker, Triple H, Randy Orton, Ric Flair. Again, 3 Evolution members. I do think Ric Flair will move up, and one of those guys will fall off of it, and Seth Rollins will be up there when he ends his career. But for right now, that's my Mount Rushmore. And now a reading from the Book of Rules. Attention superstars. Open the following pages of your pamphlet you'll find a running list of offenses that could lead to hearing Mr. McMahon yell, "You're fired!" Many of the actions listed may seem unusual and specific, but that is because they have already been committed by former superstars and staff. Please be advised that what you are about to read may be lewd, offensive, disturbing, explicit. We hope you will learn from the history and not repeat these same mistakes. Best Talent Relations. The list has seemed to be ripped out of the Book of Rules. We will never know. But a reading from the Book of Rules. And now, everybody, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. The Battle Droid of the Week is very simple to me, and I made the joke earlier. It isn't even Nia Jax. It's Nia Jax's finishing move. It sucks, and it's, I truly believe right now, worst finisher in wrestling. I got no problem saying that. It's terrible, and I hate it. So Nia Jax's finisher, you are the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Again, tomorrow's my birthday, and the gift I want is to give Wrestling Made Simple to everyone. I've been doing this for a long time now, and I don't care if one person or a million listens to it. If it does blow up, I just want people to know that this is just me talking about wrestling and just enjoying everything I can do with it. I am not perfect. I'm not gonna put myself on a pedestal and be like, love me. I just like talking. I know I talk too much in real life, but I enjoy this. It's fun. And there are times when I'm like, podcast tonight, I forgot. Coming home from work on a Tuesday. But it allows me to be me. And if this were to ever get big, that's what I want for people. It's just this to be a space where you can be you and just enjoy being with people who like to be themselves. That's what I want from Wrestling Made Simple. Thank you very much for listening. I have been the Big Guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. Enjoy Survivor Series. Have a great week in wrestling. See you guys next time.